Hello everyone, welcome to the Hack Shack right here in Los Angeles. My name is Johnny and I support horror. Today I'm honored to be taking you through a rant and review of The Invisible Man, a contemporary adaptation of the novel by H.G. Wells, as well as a reboot in the Invisible Man film series. Alright, let's talk about it, horror fam. The Invisible Man is written and directed by Leigh Whannell and stars Elisabeth Moss as our main protagonist, Cecilia Cass. And I don't want to spoil anything here, so I'll just give you a short little storyline. Cecilia has had enough with her abusive ex, so she decides to leave him and go hide out somewhere where she believes that he can't find her. Strange things start happening to Cecilia in the home she's hiding in, which leaves her to believe that her ex has found her. Now, before we get into it, I just have to say that I've been such a big fan of Leigh Whannell for a long time. I wanted to be a feature film screenwriter, and that's half the reason why I moved out to Los Angeles in 2009. I remember loving Leigh's scripts for Saw, Dead Silence, and Insidious back in the day. I just felt like his storytelling in the thriller horror realm was so original and fluid. There are certain horror movies that I find exceptional when I first see them, and that happened to me when I first saw Insidious in the theater. Whether you loved or hated Insidious, I found it refreshingly original, eerie, with a great story. So I wasn't surprised at how much I liked The Invisible Man. Okay, let's get into what I liked about it. One of the most obvious likes would have to be the tension in this film. There was a good amount of it. Just moments after the beginning credits start rolling, we have a tense scene. A great way to set the bar for what's to come. And you know how good of a filmmaker you are if you can create that extremely tight tension with just the bare minimum. In the beginning scene, there wasn't much mood music to sway your emotions one way or the other. Okay, maybe there was a little bit of music and a few of those dark and ominous tones in there. But it was the bare elements like darkness, silence, some great acting by Elisabeth Moss, and the high stakes of what could happen to our protagonist that made the tension so great. There were a number of great scenes that utilized pure silence except for the accelerated breathing of Elisabeth Moss. You don't need jump scares to make a horror thriller film frightening. Less is more, and it shows in The Invisible Man. You know a film is tense when the tiniest simple scare makes your heart jump in your throat. And it's not like The Invisible Man just suddenly appeared on the screen screaming into the camera, making everyone spill their popcorn and piss their pants. Honestly, the two scares that did me in came from the smallest action. It was a little embarrassing, but other people jumped in the theater too, so it was great. Camaraderie. What's funny is seeing a dude jump who's with his girlfriend and then trying to act like it didn't happen. Yeah, the dude's all like, oh shit. No, I wasn't scared, babe. Got a cramp in my calf. Yeah, leg day at the gym. Can't be all biceps, you know what I'm saying, babe? Yeah. Oh, can I have some more gummy bears? But seriously, you pretty much have an open field on jump scares when the main antagonist is invisible. But of course, no surprise, we're dealing with writer, director, actor, producer Leigh Whannell here. He wouldn't do that to us. He made the scares swift, unexpected, but in good taste. There was a little bit of CGI in this movie, but in my opinion, it wasn't overdone. When you can do things using practical effects, I'm more of a fan of that than using CGI, but they used it sparingly and tastefully. The fight scenes were pretty cool when the Invisible Man would go on one of his rampages. I thought the actors did a great job at making it look like they were fighting someone that they couldn't see. At times it did appear a little bit cheesy, but that's no fault of their own. It's hard to capture. I watched a few interviews with Elisabeth Moss and Leigh Whannell talking about how they set up the fight scenes. They used harnesses, wires, some stunt doubles, and a lot of fight choreography to make this look as real as possible. At times it was Elisabeth Moss that would completely just throw herself on the floor, and other times she'd be in a harness and one of those guys in the green CGI suits would be slamming her against the wall. I appreciate all the time and effort they put in to make this look as good as possible. And you know they could have hammed it up more, like made the Invisible Man have super strength. Like he could have punched a guy and he'd fly down the hallway and crash into a wall and break glass and shit. But they didn't. They didn't go over the top. Again, less is more. I also liked when there'd be a little bit of break in the action and you thought they were just going to go through the motions, add another predictable scene in there just to make it to the next one, but then something would happen that made your eyes just pop. Now, I did see a couple of these twists coming. But Lee's timing of the twist and how he laid out the rest of the story by making it turn again was awesome. Sometimes after a big twist, the movie will end without a big action following it. But there was a beautiful scene at the end of The Invisible Man that just capped it off beautifully. And my final thoughts on The Invisible Man are this. It's an intense film that utilizes great acting, seamless storytelling, and the bare elements to create one hell of a tense movie. There's also a good underlying message executed tastefully that doesn't beat you over the head. So go see this film, horror fam. Hey, thanks again for coming by my channel and checking out my review of The Invisible Man. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you do so now, and go ahead and leave a comment and let me know what you thought about this video, what you thought about The Invisible Man. If you haven't seen it, do you want to see it? Anything, horror fam. It's always great to hear from you. And let's be friends to the end, people. You know you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Horror Hack. Once again, my name is Johnny. Keep supporting horror, and this has been one hack of a show.